who was the person that asked about how to bring money to Brazil?
Actually, it was Marcelo. So I don't know why my camera just bugged.
So,
But Marcelo, he came to us on the Monday and he was talking about starting international projects with an American guy, right? Marcelo.
mhm.
No, actually, it was with Indians.
Oh, with an Indian guy.
But yeah.
Okay, okay. So every once in a while, someone has this doubt on how to bring money to Brazil from the US. You have plenty of ways. What changes from method to method is the degree of the amount of taxes you're willing to pay. So the simpler the method, the more taxes you will pay with it, probably. So I'll start with my favorite, which is the LLC path. I really like this one because pretty much will solve your issue in any other country that you live. So, for example, how this method works. Let's say you're working for a company called DevPro, which is a company that is hiring people from Giga, for example, every once in a while. Um, and they hired you, and they told you, hey, I need to send you the money, here's the contract, and blah, blah, blah. The first thing that you gotta do to receive that money is to open what is called an LLC company. LLC company is a limited liability company, if I'm not mistaken, in the US. And that's kind of the most basic type of company you can open over there. It's just a paper saying, "Hey, this guy is an actual company." You have something that resembles the CNPJ, but it's not called CNPJ. In the US, they call it IN, if I'm not mistaken, or let me see, AIN. Uh, yes, AIN. So like that, and you're gonna receive a document, pretty much saying that you have a company. With that on hand, let me show you guys a couple things. For example, I don't know if I still have this document here. AIN. Mm, Okay, I do have it. Let me, may I share the screen real quick?
1 second. All right, you can do it now.
Okay. So the way you guys are gonna do is you're gonna talk to accountant. Giga has such accountant that can help you guys with, and you're gonna have something like this. This is a paper from the US. This one is mine from Florida. That says, hey, Marcos has a company in the US. It's called Canabel Technologies LLC. So they're gonna ask you for that type of paper the moment you get your first offer. With that in hand, now you can officially pay taxes in the US. Just for out of curiosity, that's what it looks like, the paper. You gotta fill those things actually in paper. So this is the first step for the why I'm talking about the LLC method. LLC, as far as I know, is the simplest way. Oh, it's not the simplest. It's the best way to bring the money because you pay very little amount of taxes on top of it. Here's how you do it. So once you finish the LLC setup in the USA, it's gonna cost you around like $1,000, and it's probably gonna take a month for you to do it. So the moment you know you're gonna okay, I'm gonna work for a USA company, start the process. I opened mine in Florida, which takes that amount of time. Sometimes can be like up to 2 months as well. I know that you can go to Texas and open an LLC over there. It's gonna be faster, but also it's gonna be more expensive. So Texas has this type of like is right now Texas is the new scene for startups. So they are way faster to open an LLC. By the other hand, they are very expensive. Once you have the LLC, that document that I just showed, your next step is to send that to the company that actually hired you. They're gonna have I think an offer for you. Let me see if I have a document here that I can show you guys. Mm, No, I don't. Yeah, I have one here. Let me show you guys again what it's gonna look like, the document. This one is from DevPros. So they're gonna send you a PDF like this, formally informing you that you're now a new member of the company, say how much you're gonna make and how they're gonna pay you. But the thing is, they're gonna ask you about this company that you're gonna have in the US. So your second step now is go to a bank, and I highly recommend you guys to open this one, Mercury Bank. Let me show you again. And don't worry, all those steps, they are documented. I have an article written about this already. So you're gonna open a bank account in the US because now that you have a company, you can legally go to a bank and open it. The simplest one for developers is the Mercury one. If you have a LLC, they will open for you in a day. You just need to provide the documents, all the data, and they're gonna open the actual bank account for you. All that done, you can start to work in the USA. You're gonna be working for a month or so, and you're gonna receive your paycheck at the end of the month. So now the third step is how do I bring that check? Remember that I told you guys about, hey, the LLC is the lowest way you can bring the money. Here's the thing. In Brazil, you can pay yourself what is called pro labore, right? And has the X amount of taxes depending on the place where you live and depending on the service. You're gonna open as well a company in Brazil, this time is a CNPJ, and legally, what you're gonna declare at the end of the year is that your company in Brazil owns the company in the US. So your company in Brazil is making a service, is exporting a service. So that's one of the lowest fares you can pay. You're gonna emit a nota fiscal with that, saying, hey, I'm exporting my service for this company. The amount of it is gonna be very little, and you can just bring the money to Brazil literally. So you can open an account in XP, the bank account. I'm not sure if you guys know this. They do accept it. Those guys, you can open an account here, and you can literally send directly the money from your Mercury account in the US to your XP account in Brazil. They have this service for you. And what they're gonna ask for you is a paper. I think the name of it is invoice. Yeah, you can go to a site called MS Online. Dude, I might be rushing a bit. You feel free to ask questions because it took me like a while to learn all of this crap. You can go to a site called MS Online and you can emit a PDF just saying that you exported your service. They have an API for that. Invoice, I think. Yeah, here. You can generate a PDF with MS Online and you can give to the XP guy and he can actually go to his systems and remove the IOF. This is a trick most people don't know. So when let's say you finished your month and you received $4,000. The money is gonna end up here in your Mercury account. Then you're gonna go to the XP guy that you opened your account with, say, hey, I wanna bring $4,000. He's gonna say, okay, the fee from XP is gonna be like $50. That's the standard fee to move money between countries, like $10. Then he's gonna ask you if you have a invoice, because if you do, you will not need to pay IOF, the tax on the thing, because you're exporting a service. So you're probably gonna save around like 400 reais, something like that. And then the money is gonna end up in this account. And then the last step, this is more like a Brazilian entrepreneur type of thing, is you decide how much you wanna move to your personal account. If you move to your personal account like in a monthly basis, be aware that you're gonna be paying pro labore at the end of the year. When you declare that money that every month I'm removing from that account, my personal account, I don't know, 10,000 reais. Okay, you're gonna declare that as a pro labore because you're doing every month. If you already have a second job and that money that you'd make in the US is a plus, it's like a freelancing job or just farming money, I don't know, it's up to you. Let's say you don't need that money like right away. What I recommend you is that you wait until the end of the year, or like You wait a period of time. I know in Brazil you can change that as well. But when you actually remove the money, you remove all of it at once and you declare as you paid yourself dividends, profits. The debt does not include taxes. Whenever a company pay profits to its shareholders, you will not pay taxes. So overall, that's my favorite path to bring money from the US. Um, doing a brief overview, you open a LLC in the US. You're gonna send this document to the new employee. You're gonna generate invoices for them every month. You're gonna move that money to they're gonna pay you in that Mercury account. Then you move the money to Brazil via international account, and then the amount of taxes you pay at the end of the year will depend on how you declare them. If you're removing every month, you're gonna pay X. If you let it rest for a bit and then you declare that you paid yourself dividends, it's gonna be almost non-taxes on top of it. The advantage of this method is that you can work from anywhere. Most of the other methods, you're kind of tied to Brazil. I'm gonna go very quickly on top of the others, but you cannot work, I don't know, from Argentina to a US company and the other methods. You're gonna do like 3 jumps with your money and you're gonna pay a lot of taxes. With this one in particular, because you have the company in the US, you can easily move to any other country directly. So you don't need to reroute every time to Brazil before you move to yourself. Does that answer the question so far?
Hell yeah.
Go
May I
ahead,
have a
question?
question?
Yeah.
You receive in your US bank, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you send to
Brazil.
Brazilian bank? I didn't understand this step.
Okay.
When I see the Remiss Online, you need to send account to Remiss Online and Remiss Online send to your local Brazilian bank. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
it.
gonna actually show you how I do it. Let me open my.
I think actually the US company will pay the invoice, right?
What do you mean pay the invoice?
Because the invoice, it's like when you send a boleto to someone, right?
No,
It's
invoice in Brazil means not fiscal. So in the
oh,
US, not a fiscal is invoice.
I thought they were different.
They are, but what the company will ask you for is the
Mm-hmm.
invoice. They will not
Okay.
care about the not fiscal. This is a problem
Mm.
between you and the Brazilian bank. Let me open a conversation here. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys in real world. Let me open this. Let me show my screen again. Let me actually show you guys in practice what it looks like. I don't have a problem showing those numbers and these things because it's like our freelancing job that I was doing. So no issue with that. This, let me just connect real quick. So here's what's gonna look like. Mercury 045 627. Come on. Okay, so you see it's zeroed out, so that's gonna yours is gonna look more like this. So for example, you're gonna receive the money from here, Crunch. This is a company that I did like a freelancer. You're gonna receive like that, right? So it's gonna show up in your account, and then you're gonna come to a place like this. You're gonna have an account in XP as well, and then you're gonna have a what they call assessor. This guy is the guy who's gonna bring the money for you to Brazil. He's gonna just send. Pretty much, you're gonna talk to him, say, "Hey, I want to bring this amount of money to Brazil this month." He's gonna send you some details, like the international bank of XP, and you're gonna take this data and you're gonna come here and say, "I wanna send money." And as you can see, I already have this data saved here, for example. I'm gonna set it up again. So I'm gonna say, hey, this is an international wire. It takes a day, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, international wire. And back, I can add the data that the guy just gave me. Internationally, banks use two things. I'm not sure if you guys heard of those terms, SWIFT and IBAN.
IBAN, yeah.
IBAN is the account number, pretty much. That's how banks around the globe identify themselves. And SWIFT code is kind of the code in the international for the bank in the
Use
international system.
use it for the transactions.
Yes, those are the most, like, talking about banks, that those are the most important things you need to know, like SWIFT and IBAN. Those are the numbers of your bank account. And that's by the way how Russia is getting sanctioned. So they use Russia right now is banned from SWIFT because it's a system. So add the numbers from XP here, and it's just gonna say, I don't know, let's say infinite amount of money that I don't have. You send from this account, and it's gonna say today, and that's it. Click next. That's pretty much it. Eventually, the money is gonna end up here in your account. I may log in real quick. Let me just log in on my account. Oh, my account's not open anymore because I already closed my CNPJ because it's the old CNPJ. It's gonna end up here, and once it is here, actually, once you send the money to this account, you're gonna go to your assessor and say, "Hey, I sent you the money," like I did here Monday,
Mm,
and it's gonna say,
wh- wh-
"Okay." Here, you see?
Nice.
Send us and hey, I send you the money. He's gonna send me some audio. Say, okay, I'm gonna bring it to you in Brazil. Probably the next day, the money's gonna show up in your account here, and then you can bring either to your personal account or you can just keep it over there to avoid paying taxes.
I didn't understand why do you need to remiss online?
Okay. So remember when I send the money here?
Yeah.
So these guys don't. As you can notice, I send the money to XP, not to myself, because it's an international transaction that's happening. So the moment he's gonna move the money to me, he will need to declare that to the authorities. Say, hey, this guy's doing this thing. And when he does that, I will by default pay EOF, which is 3.8%, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
What is EOF? EOF. Hold on. Okay, this. So let's say you're gonna move $4,000.
That's too much. That's too much money.
Yeah, if someone who did not do anything.
Yeah, because you can pay
You're gonna pay
less
this
IOF
for the
or
government.
nothing.
So there is that's why I told you, oh, this is a trick that most people don't know. If you go to Remes Online and you emit an invoice, which is just a PDF, it's literally a PDF. I'm not gonna emit one, but you just fill this and you emit, and then you send to the guy. Let me see if I have one here. Here, I have one. Let me see if it's gonna download.
Did you ever try to use Wise?
You can use Wise as well. But as far as I know, you're gonna pay UF if you use Wise.
Yeah.
That's why I like this path. You're gonna generate this invoice and you're gonna send to him, and then when he's gonna move the money from the XP account to your account, he will not be forced to pay the EOF. You're gonna remove it.
Yeah, because when you're using Wise, you can send the money to your international bank also, and you can use the debit card, which I believe doesn't pay IOF when you pay something with it.
Yeah, I don't know about the Wise. I have a Wise account, but I don't know if that's the case. I know, for example, here, let me show you guys this. They are very open to the way they can pay you most of the time. So, for example, I know that Pros, they pay you with MS Online, Brazil only. They pay you with Pioneer. wire
Wire
transfer. This
transfer.
one that I just showed you guys is wire transfer. That's what wire transfer in the US is, quote unquote, the TED doc in Brazil, you know.
Okay.
So
Marcos,
they pay you. Go
I
ahead.
had a previous experience to receive money from the international company, from the Portugal company.
Mhm.
What I did, I opened uh, a, a company account in Brazil, and I
Mhm.
enabled my company account to receive international orders.
We can do that as well.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
and
kind of part of what I did as well.
yeah, and not all the banks can do that. Only big banks like Santander, Itaú, something like that.
Mhm.
And I have my IBAN, yeah, my
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
the SWIFT of the bank and my IBAN, and I send
Mhm.
to Portugal, send the order payment to this IBAN,
Mhm.
and I received the order of payment in euros in my account, and I decided when the quotation from the euro is the best. I convert that euros to reais, and
Mhm.
yeah, and that's it. It's a different way, but it's not so easy to enable these transactions for your company's account in Brazil. You need to prove
Um,
that you have a contract with the another
l-
companies, blah blah
like I
blah.
said, I'm gonna send you guys my article about it. There's multiple, like literally, there's a lot of ways you can bring the money. And like I said, I like this one because this
Because
one
the
shields
EOF.
me a lot. Not
Mhm.
no, not the EOF. The EOF is nice. Like eventually, like in 5 months, that's a lot of money. But it's mostly because it shields me a lot. Because when you do things directly on your name and you get any type of trouble with Brazilian justice, you're screwed because you have a directly association with that money. If you do any type of mistake, is your name on the line. If you're doing things with companies, is the company's name on the line. We don't notice that in the daily because things just go fine. But the moment they go wrong, for whatever reason, it could be taxes, it could be any other type of problem you have personally, if things are being done in the account of the company, you're in a better position, really. You're shooting your own name with it. So that's why as well that I like this a lot. Also, this one enables me to buy stocks in the US directly without having like a Brazilian bank in between. Because now I have a company in the US and literally I can do investments over there as a company. And if such investments break, it's going to be the company that broke, not me.
Marco,
Yeah.
uh, can I buy USD Tether to enter with dollars in Brazil using crypto?
You can. As far as I never bought a USD Tether. I know what it is, but as far as I can tell, yes, you can buy it. Brazil is going very hard on crypto lately, as far as I know. But you can. Yeah. That's not a financial advice. Let me be clear.
Because if I buy Tether, I think it is it currency evasion or no?
I don't know if it is actual currency. I don't know, man. I never actually delved into the crypto world.
Yeah, actually, if you bought some crypto without telling to the Brazilian IRS, you are doing this. Yes, it is. division, money. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, it's a crime. Marco, can I ask something? I
Yes.
want to know. It's not exactly about how to bring money, but how have a analysis in the US. It is important to make business in the US because uh, since we don't have a work permit to work potential in the US,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it is important to have an LLC. People see you with different eyes, or how that thing works.
I never got to that situation. Even Nenzel, maybe he can tell more about it because he lived there longer than I did. But as far as I can tell, the US is pretty advanced regarding capitalism. So
Mm-hmm.
for example, I just people who just go there and they work. I have no idea how, but I'm pretty sure they just get paid with actual cash, you know. But I don't know precisely what would be the culture. I know what it enables you. It does enables you to legally work over there under certain conditions
Yeah,
as a contractor.
mm-hmm,
You're
mm-hmm.
not gonna be like a full-time
Exactly,
job,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
but legally you can make money. Legally you can
Yeah,
make money. That's a
yeah.
given.
You can go to US, stay there for the 6 months and work as because you are not working. Who's working? It's your company, not you, right?
I gotta tell you, be careful with the word work. You cannot
Okay.
say that you're gonna work. You must say
Yeah.
that you're
Okay.
gonna do business.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm.
very trick. If you say to the people in the airport that you're
Okay.
going
I
to the
got it.
US to work, they're gonna send you
Uh-huh.
back.
Yeah, of
You must
course.
say like I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to do business. Even though you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna work, like you could be like just doing a
No,
building.
actually, just if or when I went to if I go to United States, it's just for vacations. They don't have to know that I have a company there. They will know, of course, but you don't have to speak out loud.
Yeah, here's the thing. The US is one of the most secure countries in the world, right? So you'll always have to be extremely careful with everything that you're doing there. And there are different visas that will allow you to work. So when I lived in there, I went as a student. I was on F1 visa, if I'm not mistaken. And I was allowed to work within campus. And when you're working inside of the country, you do have to open a social security number, which is pretty much our CPF in US, but it's much
Okay.
more strict. It's much more protected. We don't show our social security numbers around like we do with our CPF.
Okay.
And in there, we have to fill out different forms. There's W-2, if I'm not mistaken. This form you'll fill out in order to complete taxes. And then you have to do your taxes through an accountant. And it's just a very, strict step by step. But as Marcos mentioned, if you're going in there and if you're going for a business trip, you do have to be really careful with the vocabulary that you're going to be using because if you
Okay.
say that you're going to be working there, they're going to be asking you questions like you're on a traveler's visa. You do not have permission to work in the US. You do not
Mm-hmm.
have permission to have your name
I,
legally
I got it.
bounded with another company.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So those are some small details that you have to be careful with. But from what I could notice that Marcos was explaining, the process to get US dollars here in Brazil is relatively simple to immigrants working in the US, because that's a harder process from what I could gather. But you have to open social security number, you have to fill up the taxes depending on the state that you're living in. You're going to be paying different taxes depending on the city that you're going to be living in.
Okay.
So even though I used to live in Seattle. I mean, I used to live in Everett, which is a city north of Seattle. If I had to move to the main city of Seattle, I would pay different taxes than I would pay in average.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So they're far more strict with taxes and depending on the region that you're in. That also applies to minimum wage. Some cities will pay more than other cities. Doesn't really matter of the state or the country that you're living in. The US changes as a whole. But
May I
yeah,
ask you something?
what'd you say?
May I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is the advantage of have a company on USA and not a company here in Brazil? Like, uh, do you pay less taxes? This question is for Marcos.
Okay. Yes, you do by default. Like I said, depends what you're doing with the money. So if you just wanna, I don't know, save money. Let's say you have a job in Brazil and you're making extra money with a job internationally. Just keep in the US, man. Just keeping a bank account in the US, in the actually company's account, put in the S&P 500, and that's it. You're gonna pay way less taxes. You're gonna earn way more money over time, and you're gonna be saving a lot of you're gonna be saving a lot. Your money will be way safer in a way stronger currency. If things goes wild in Brazil, you still have money in the US to like get out of the country if you need it very quick. But if you're planning to use every month, then it's a different story. So you're gonna pay taxes anyway. There's no way out of it. You're gonna bring the money. You're gonna pay a lot of tax. You're gonna pay taxes on transfer the money to Brazil. You're gonna pay taxes on receiving the money. You're gonna pay taxes when using the money.
Yes, for
And,
sure.
the only way you probably save is just keeping the US in the bank account of the company you opened over there.
It's
Like I
tax
said, for example,
everywhere.
yeah, like I said, if you open directly to your name, I think who was the one that said, I think was Carlos. Carlos said that he opened one account, international account, directly to his name. Well, the moment he received that money, he's gonna be taxed, boom, by default, and the like Brazilian taxes. So if you want to avoid such taxes, open a bank account in the US with a proper company in the US. You're gonna pay the tax is gonna be like 2%, I think, something like that, 2 to 6%. It's very low. Like
Yeah,
six
but
percent for the US citizen is a lot already.
yeah.
Marco,
Okay,
oh,
go ahead. No, go. No, just let me say something. Like Marco said, I just received a couple $100s from a friend on Ireland, and of course I will have to pay 27% of taxes because it's income because it's how do you say binding to my name, right?
Yes,
It's
bounded to
directly
your
to my
name,
it's bounded to my name.
to your personal. Yeah, exactly. It's bounded
Exactly.
to your personal account. And
It's
let's say you
Marcos,
got it. Go ahead.
27% is a lot of money.
yeah, but in my case, my I bring to my company money to my company. Yeah,
Okay.
my
Yeah,
company account. I pay only the taxes of EOF, the exchange, and my company is, I don't know, Simples Nacional, in general is 6% of tax. But if I export my services, I pay only 4
Mhm.
4%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But to be fair,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna show a bit of my personal side. I think that's already too
Okay, okay.
much.
Yeah.
So
me
I'd
too.
rather stay all my money in the US. Even I will not touch it, but the government will not touch it. So
uh,
that's a lot of
Mar
taxes.
Marco,
Good.
what is the better kind of account to guard my money and preserve the value of the currency? And I have yeah. Respond. Ask me this question first.
I'm not sure if I understood the question.
What's the better kind of account for preserve the value of the dollar?
Oh man, no, as long as it's dollar, it's very valuable. Don't worry. As long as it is
No,
dollar, it could be any
but
account.
mm, for example, like CDB or other type
Uh,
of investment.
He is talking about net profit. I
Yeah,
believe so.
that's a different thing. It's not kind of a bank
Mm,
account.
okay, so financial advice, I cannot make it, unfortunately.
Mm.
I can be legally bounded to mistakes. I'm not sure if you guys know, in Brazil, if you open like YouTube, you're gonna see people every time in the video they start saying, "Hey, this is not a financial advice." The reason they have to say that is because legally you can be bounded to the problems that the person got by your advice if you're pretending to be a financial advice, but you don't have the proper certificate. And you can get the certificate either by doing the test, I forgot the name of the test, or by having more than R1 million invested. You can get the certificate on both ways, and you can do the test and get it. But legally, I cannot do any type of financial advice. So I would highly recommend you to go to the partners of Giga, and they are called Orianjos. If I'm not mistaken. Orianjos. Let me get the yes, those guys here. Let me send you guys 1 second. There. Just get the
You mentioned early that you have an encounter who provides some service for Giga.
yes. Orianjos are those guys. So they can legally give you financial advice. I cannot. Let me send you.
Just leave your money in dollar that you will be safe. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like as long as it's not, man, you can go to a
Yeah.
desert with a $100 bill and you get shit done.
Okay, great.
But if you need financial advice, Mauro, I recommend you talking to those guys. They are specialized in helping Brazilian programmers handle their money.
Okay.
And they have a partnership with us.
Yeah, if you can share
Thank you.
the accountant contact too.
Yes. Yeah, they are those guys. They are the
Oh,
accountant firm.
are they? Okay, they are.
Yeah. Let me send on the chat as well. If you guys want a full review of this that I just said, because this is a common question, so I have both an article on Twitter and I have as well a video on my YouTube channel.
You post on Twitter, right? Okay.
Yeah, so this is my video on YouTube, and this is my Twitter post about it. Article. Where is it?
Bringing money from Brazil. Awesome.
Yes. So this is the article.
Okay. And how I contract other developers for do the activities. For example, if I if I have two or three contracts, but I cannot resolve our issues, and can I contract another developers to do?
This is the moment where my way goes different from the way of Carlos, because Carlos opened an account directly to his name, so he's the full-time engineer. He cannot do that. If you are doing through an account of a company, legally you can do, and you have all the rights to do it. here's the thing in Brazil. Whenever you hire someone as a PJ in Brazil, one of the things about it is that you cannot require that person to be the one working. You're contracting the company. If that person says, "Hey, I will not work today. I'm gonna put my dog to work in my place, and he's gonna deliver what you need," legally, it's all fine. You can
Okay.
hire other people because you are a company. So that's one of the tricks about it. But let's say you are opening it directly associated with your name, uh, and you sign the contract as Mauro instead of as like the Mauro's company. Now legally you're bounded to that company. You cannot like be replaced or use hire like other people. So that's kind of part of the drill.
Okay.
Okay, about opening an LLC, what is the way do you did to do it?
What do you mean?
Do you hire some website from US, or do you hire an accountant in the US to do it? How you?
I have, yeah, I'm very scared of doing things wrong with bureaucracy in Brazil
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
Brazil is a country very heavy on positivism. So you really need to understand what you're doing. So I have an accountant in Brazil. I
Mm-hmm.
have an accountant in the US.
Okay.
I have an accountant lawyer in Brazil, and I also have a lawyer in the US. I have 4 people involved.
No.
Like I paid for all of them just to make sure that I was not doing the wrong thing.
Okay, because there
You
there is
don't
a
need all of it. Audiences, for example, they do all of it, so you can just pay them and they'll solve it all. I
okay,
did this way because I was learning by myself back
okay.
then, and I was
Mm-hmm.
very scared of like if I was scared to make a mistake in Brazil, let alone in the US.
Okay, so our agents can do that for us.
They do all of it
The
for you.
whole process.
Yes, they do all of
Oh,
it. So you just
oh,
the last guy, Hazendi, he hired their service. So he passed for international company, and then he talked to them, and they solved all of the legal stuff for him.
okay, okay. Yeah, because I saw a couple websites where they charge only like $100 for uh, their fees, and you have to pay a few more emoluments, and
Hmm.
that's it. But I'm really scared because some people say that's a quite expensive thing to do. And when you saw a website just only charging like a $300, I got scared. Because I don't know exactly what they're doing and if they are doing everything right. Oh, that's it.
Exactly, exactly. And legally, you're bounded. It's a contract, man. It's something very serious.
It's yeah,
People don't
it's
understand how serious it is until you're in front of a judge.
yeah,
It is
and that,
serious. So take with a grain of salt.
yeah. Just to let you guys know, because uh, I have been searching about this a while, and if you want to migrate to United States, this have an LLC maybe could be bring you some additional challenges, because you come to US and you already have a company here. What kind of thing you wanted to do? Are you immigrating? There's a possibility they will think about you. So think about
Yeah,
it
yeah,
before do it.
exactly. The I think the overall arch is do things the right way, and you'll be probably okay. Just get help with proper people who understand what
Great.
they are doing,
Mhm.
and that's it. But those are the reasons. There's other ways to bring. The video and the article has more. Had opera. The article and the video have other options, but
Mhm.
this one is my favorite.
How can I say fiscal, residência fiscal?
Legal, legal tender. Let's see.
Yeah. And we need to pay attention where is your residência fiscal, because depends of your you pay different taxes.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know what's the correct name. There's a name. Yes, I know there's a name. It's not legal tender.
For example,
Be
nowadays
right back.
nowadays my I don't know, minha residência fiscal é Portugal. I need to follow taxes from Portugal, and but if I receive money in Brazil, I need to declare in Portugal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the other way too. Yeah. If you're live in Brazil, sua residência fiscal é Brasil. You need to declare everything that you have and you receive abroad. Yeah. In the correct way. Yeah. Sometimes the government can't check all your accounts, but in the world. But the government can ask you to prove that you don't have the accounts, and when you receive money from international transfer, why did you receive the international transfer? Yeah, why you didn't declare in your imposto de renda?
Yeah.
But you never moved your tax residence back to Brazil?
I'm trying.
You're
I'm trying.
Is it a long process?
It's a ridiculous process. I need to
Really?
receive a mail from Portugal and put the code in the site. But this mail, carta, né? Carta mesmo.
Mail, yeah.
I asked this mail many times and I didn't receive it yet.
Do you have to ask directly to Portugal's government or the company?
The Portugal government.
Good luck.
Yeah. When I receive, I need to wait. We have a limit to put the code, 30 days. But I receive the mail 40 days, 15 days. Yeah, the autoridade tributária. It's a ridiculous process.
Good luck while trying to set this up. You guys,
Yeah.
we only have 3 minutes left. Does anybody want to wrap up with any questions? I made sure that all of the links that Marcos made available are on the RimNote, along with some vocabulary too. If you guys want to access it, everything is going to be available on Glide. But do you guys have any other questions to wrap it up for Marcos? Or is everyone happy?
Great. Thanks, Marcos.
I'm really
Your
glad
tips.
to.
I am happy.
It was a pleasure, guys.
I'm
Thank
happy
you,
too.
Marco.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up with the picture. Don't
course.
leave yet.
Open your cameras.
Marcelo gave us an order.
Count of 3. 1, 2. There we go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for today. And thank you, Marcos, for coming here today.
Yeah, thank you, Marcos.
Thank you, Marcus. Really good,
Thank
great
you.
talk.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
everyone.
Have a great